Hey everyone, before I get into it, I just wanted to mention that Farfetch have given me another one of those coupon codes, but it only lasts for a month. It's not commission paying, I don't earn anything if you go and use it. It only works if you have a new account though, so if you already have an account, set up a new one to get the discount. What else to say? It works on loads of brands, but I would say that I would personally, I always do this, add loads of stuff to your shopping cart and then try the coupon code to see what it works on, because there are a few brands that it doesn't work on, but I'm talking about like Fendi and Gucci, those sort of brands, but other brands it does, so go and give it a try. I'll put details of it in the description below. Let's talk about bags that have gone way out of style, and I do want to start in this video by saying that with a lot of the bags that I feel have gone out of style, it's just my opinion. It's not based on any sort of fact, and actually I own quite a few of the bags that I'm going to say have gone out of style, so it's not to say I don't like them, and it's definitely not to say that if you own these that it's any sort of cuss on your bag. And in fact, with a lot of the bags that I think aren't as popular as they used to be, I don't care, I'm still going to use them. It's just a topical discussion. So here I've got 6 bags that I just feel have gone out of style in recent years, and I think I know why they've gone out of style, but I also have another 6, I think 6, maybe 7, which are on their way up. I mean, if you want to buy something that is very in at the moment, then I think some of the ones I'm going to mention, and some of them are classics as well, not all of them are kind of like trend bags, which I think it's got a big part to play in why a lot of the bags I'm going to talk to you about that have gone out of style, in my opinion, have gone out of style. The first, and I'm kind of torn on this, but I do feel that it's not as popular as it was when it first launched, and it is the Deal Book Tote. I own this in the blue oblique. It's a bag that I use probably 5 or 6 times a week when I go to the gym. It is my gym bag. I go to a gym where to be honest, like a lot of people that go there take designer bags, so mine blends right in. It's not like I'm taking, do you know what I mean? You know how some gyms are like that? You can just go along there. A lot of people have their Louis Vuitton holdalls and things like that, so when I go with my book tote, it doesn't stand out at all. And for me, if I didn't use it for the gym, I probably wouldn't really use it that much, so that's another reason why I use it for the gym, just so that I get my cost per wear. But to me, this bag doesn't have the popularity that it once did when it was launched back at the end of 2018. Who remembers when the bag came out? When this book tote came out, it was everywhere, it was all over social media. Dior did their, you know how they, whenever they have a new bag, they normally pick certain influencers and they get them to push it out, and it makes you want it. I feel that over the years that's declined in terms of the desire to own that bag. And certainly I think when it comes to the amount of people I see on social media using it, showing it and promoting it, I feel that that's declined as well. The next one is one that I debated on whether to put in this list because it's really Marmite in terms of whether you agree with this or not. But for me, it's the Chanel Classic Flap. And do you know why I think it's not gone out of style? Ever is that bag going to go out of style, but I feel as though its popularity from the point of view of buying new has dropped massively, and it's dropped in line with the price rises that have happened on those bags. I'm going to come on to something in a second, but I think there is something else from Chanel that people are buying more into that's on the up in terms of popularity. But when it comes to the Classic Flap bags, they're over £7,000, and you've only got to, again, have a look at social media, watch what people are saying, including you guys in the comments. A lot of you are, I haven't actually seen one single comment from anyone saying, I actually think 7k is a reasonable price for that bag. No one says that ever. And so for me, I think that buying new, going into a boutique and buying new, is going out of style on those particular bags, 7k plus. The Chloe Drew bag, this, I feel, faded out quite a long time ago. And I feel that with Chloe, and I'm going to come on to another Chloe bag in a second, I feel that with them, they come out with bags that get really, really, really popular, and then they drop back off again, and then they'll come out with another bag that gets really popular, and then that drops off again. Again, just my opinion. This is how I see it. And the Chloe Drew bag used to be one that was everywhere. You saw it all over Instagram. Instagram's a good barometer for trend bags, I feel. If you want to see what a trend bag is, go and have a look on Instagram and see how long it hangs around for before people stop talking about it again. Chloe Drew bag was one of those. I've got 2 more from Chanel, 1 more from Dior. Let's start with the Dior one. Again, it's contentious and I don't know whether you'd agree with this or not, but it is the Dior saddle bag. That bag, when that was relaunched back in, when was it, 2018, 2019, again, a bit like with the book tote, it smashed it. Everyone wanted that bag. It was all over social media. It was a blast from the past. And I do think the bag is still very popular, but I don't feel that it has got that wow factor that it did when it first came out. I feel as though Dior have since come out with other bags that they've tried to push, like, you know, you've got the Bobby bag and now you've got the 9522 bag, and every time they come out with a new bag, it seems to kind of like knock down the previous ones. That excitement around previous ones dulls down because there's a new excitement over something new. Again, it's just my opinion, feel free to disagree. I actually own a saddle bag, which I really love and I will keep using, but I don't think it's got the hype around it that it did when it first came out. And then 2 final ones from Chanel before I talk to you about what I think is on the way up. The Chanel Gabrielle, and I think this bag has been discontinued. Can someone tell me please? I'm pretty sure it's been discontinued. When I first saw that bag, I did look at it and I thought to myself, this has got the potential to not stick around the way the classic flap has, in a way that some other bags from Chanel have managed to stick, and I'm coming on to that in 1 second. But the Gabrielle, not out of style. If you own it, it's not to say don't wear it. Just remember what I'm saying. All of this is just opinion. It's not fact. It's just my opinion. And I'm not saying that if you own any of these bags that you shouldn't wear them anymore. Absolutely not. This is just like a discussion. And then the final one is the Chanel boy bag. Do you remember when that boy bag first was launched? I remember it was around 2014, maybe 2013, and I fell in love the minute that I saw it. I knew deep down that I should probably go for the classic flap because it is the classic. And even back then, I kind of thought the boy bag could be a trend. It might not stick around, but it did. And I feel now, for me personally, I feel that there's issues with that bag. The design of it means that the corners rub really easy. It gets a saggy bottom. I've spoken about all of this before, and I've shown you on a boy bag I actually have the issues. So from that perspective, I do actually wish I'd just got the classic flap instead of the boy bag. But, you know, I did what I did. But I don't feel that the boy bag has got the excitement around it that it once did. Now for things that I think are on their way up and they're coming in style. The first is it's not a surprise, but you know Hermes, of course you know Hermes. The Kelly bag in particular seems to be taking off on social media, more so than the Birkin, I feel. Definitely more so than the Constance, more so than the Evelyn. There's various different bags from Hermes, but it seems to be, from what I've seen on YouTube, it seems to be that it's the Kelly that everyone wants. And I think the mini Kelly is looking really popular at the moment. That's a gorgeous bag, absolutely gorgeous. But social media is fueling that to a degree. You know, you've got lots of like my Hermes journey stories out there, people sharing tips and tricks on how they managed to get hold of their bag. And I think all of this is driving demand for that bag in a way that if you go back 10 years, the Hermes Kelly was like a classic bag. If you know, you know, the people that had it on their arm, it was very exclusive. Now it is still exclusive, but it's feeling a bit less so to me because it feels like lots of people have them. And so that kind of exclusivity of you can't have one unless we choose you kind of thing feels like it's slipped a bit. What do you think? That's a whole other separate video. You know, I said to you that I was going to talk to you about another Chloe bag. Here's what I'm talking about, this. This bag I have seen so many people buy and unbox and style and make it look amazing. And this is a tote bag from Chloe. I think the reason, a good thing with Chloe, their bags aren't super expensive, but that Chloe brand is established, it's very chic, it's very elegant, it's very feminine, And this particular bag I feel is on the way up. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of it this year. It already started to kind of gain momentum at the end of last year, and I just think that if you want a book tote type shape but you don't want to spend over £2,000 on the Dior book tote, I think the Chloe version's a good one to go with. Vintage Chanel. So I was saying that I think what's going out of style, or what has gone out of style, are the number of people who would once go into Chanel and buy a classic flap brand new because of the price. But something that I've noticed is going up, and it's going up really rapidly, is the vintage market, particularly vintage Chanel. And you can tell because the prices of things has gone mad. If I go back 5 years, I remember, you know, the square 1989 to 1994 vintage bag I've got, the Chanel one with the big double C's on the front. I remember seeing that in the rectangle shape in 2016 on Vestiaire Collective, and it was £900. And I remember thinking, shall I get that? But vintage wasn't really a thing at the time, and I thought, do I really want a bag that's that old? And I didn't do it, and I wish I did, because now that bag is like 4 or 5k in some places, and it's selling for that amount of money. Because when the brand new version is 7k, 4k, particularly if you're going to go and get the larger version, which is 8k, it's like a 50% discount. So vintage Chanel in particular has gone through the roof. It's become cool to find a bag from back in the day, give it a new lease of life, wear it, enjoy it, not have to worry about scratching it because it's already scratched and somebody's already done that for you, and you can be a lot more relaxed with it. The other really big one for me, which I think grew last year and is going to continue to grow this year, are Chanel bags that are non-classics but that sell really well and have a classic appeal to them. So what I mean is, you know how I've spoken about how I've noticed that Chanel have got an awful lot of bags that are coming out that are under £4,000, which for Chanel is not that much for them. If you consider the small size classic flap is 7k plus. They're coming out with loads of really cute designs, one-off designs in a lot of cases, like they'll come out with a certain style of flap in tweed, blah, 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 and you won't see that again in the next collections, but it's under 4k, they're selling like hotcakes because of that price point, and it doesn't matter that it's not a classic piece. Like even if you look at the heart bag, the largest one was around about 4k, and then they went down from there, depending on the size of the bag that you got. And I'm seeing so many people right now on Instagram that I follow going into Chanel, and they've got all of these little, like they're not huge bags, this is the thing, all these bags that may be like this kind of size, under 4k, and they've lined them all out on the counter and they're choosing which one they're going to go for. And there's so many cute designs that are not classics, they're one-offs, but they look sweet, they're in cool colours, they're really desirable. So many different options out there that are in that price point, and I think that those are on the up as well. Like that is really coming into style. And then finally, I couldn't not mention the Prada bags that are covered in crystals, which are, I love them. I particularly like this version, is my favourite, and I don't know if I'll get it though, because it's nearly £3,000 and it's not the largest bag in the world. And if it was Chanel, different, because you know what Chanel are like. If you ever need to sell it to get your money back out, you kind of can, but with Prada you kind of can't really do that so much. But I absolutely love these bags, and these were well in style last year. I think they're going to be well in style this year. Another reason why I haven't bought one is because you know how I do from time to time buy trend bags, but I try not to do it. And when I have bought trend bags, it's because there's been a bag that I've thought about, and if it's a trend, I normally let myself think about it for several months before I actually go and do it, just to make sure, do I really want this, or is it just, you know, a thing? And with the Prada bags, every time I walk past them, I can't not stop and look. They catch my eye, they're so pretty. But I do worry that they are a trend and that they will eventually be discontinued. And then I've got a bag that's covered in crystals that's a bit over the top for in the day and could work for at night, but you know, it's a bit of a trend. So that's the reason why I haven't bought them, but I do think those bags are already on the up and they're going to continue to be on the up this year. So they are my thoughts on what's out of style and what's in style or coming into style. And as I said earlier, please don't take offence at anything that I've said. This isn't meant to be an offensive video. It's just a general chit chat on what some of the thoughts that I have, and you might disagree entirely, and that's absolutely fine. And I always welcome your feedback in the comments. I always want you to be able to go to the comments section and debate and talk about what you think and be like, oh, I think you're wrong about that, but how about this one? You know, I want you to be able to go there and talk to each other about your thoughts on this kind of thing. I don't want you to think that if you disagree with me that you can't say that you disagree, because it's a democracy. We can all talk here. Thank you so much for watching though, and I'll see you in the next video.